The Doghouse Cup Series is proud to be sponsored by Shoneys. Shoneys is today's all-American kitchen. Open daily for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, Shoneys guests can count on quality, delicious food along with warm, friendly service. Stop by one of our West Virginia locations to try their freshly prepared, legendary breakfast bar, and don't forget to take home a whole strawberry pie. Shoneys, delicious food and friendly service since 1947. And Rogue Energy. It's designed to be the ultimate energy drink. Zero sugar, zero fillers, 5 calories, packed with essential vitamins, and loaded with brain-enhancing nootropics at optimal levels. Make the switch to a better tasting, better mixing, and more effective energy drink with flavors like pink lemonade, fruit punch, and grape popsicle, just to name a few. There's something for everyone. Click the link in the description to find out more information. And welcome back, everybody, here to SimTrack's broadcast. This is Patrick Morrison coming to you live here with the Doghouse Racing League. A name you haven't seen in a long time is the number 93 Chevrolet. The looks like the Tractor Supply machine out there of Kevin Powell will actually be racing here tonight for the Shoneys 175 here at Talladega. Appreciate you guys joining us once again. Definitely don't forget to like and subscribe out there. And if you are looking to race here with the Doghouse Racing League, you can go to the Facebook page and sign up. Get a hold of a couple of the admins there, and they'll look to get you lined up for some of this great racing. Although the season is starting to come to an end, only 2 races after this one. The temperatures are starting to heat up a little bit. A couple of guys are thinking about, if this is the make-or-break race here. I know we head to Auto Club in Texas after this. And if there's one place you want to settle a score, it's going to be here, but there's no guarantee you'll win or if you can guarantee even a loss, as there's going to be plenty of places. I don't count anybody on any part of a qualifying position out here. Joining alongside me tonight will be Stella back from her European trip. Appreciate you rejoining us here, Stella.
Oh yeah, it's good to be back. It's driving on the left-hand side of the road is not for this American.
That's definitely I'm sure it's tough out there as Talladega gets ready to line up here. Qualifying has completed. We'll go through a starting grid here in just a moment, but I do want to give a quick little take a look at what our race consists of here tonight with 99-degree track temperature, 74 out there in the air. The humidity is going to play a little bit. Tires sitting at 49% down there in Alabama. So 66 laps, of course, 3 sets of tires in pit, 70% fuel limit, and no fast repairs. The only starting park I have lined up here for tonight is Andrew St. Cour, so I believe that is going to wipe any chance of him winning this round, especially this season. I know Jonathan Jennings has gone 2 for 2. He's aimed for 3 for 3 here for the season. But Andrew St. Cour, Kevin Thompson, those guys were pretty much lined up, ready to overtake that. We'll go ahead and take a look at the points in just a moment. But Stella, we are talking about some wild racing we're going to see here tonight. A lot of guys going to be taking a lot of different angles and opportunities to try to launch through this field, and they're probably going to want to do it fairly quickly.
Well, I don't blame them. Being in the back, sometimes it's just not the best place to be at Talladega. With these turns at 33 degrees, your tri-oval has 16.5-degree banking. It's going to be quick. Your Alabama Gang super stretch, which is the back stretch, is 4,000 feet long. Front stretch 4,300 feet long, which allows them to get a lot of speed going on this track.
Yeah, and you'd be amazed that they're actually doing this in under a minute to be able to complete a lap out there even by themselves. A couple of guys out there during practice were clocking over 210 miles an hour. Now remember, Stella, this is an open setup league, so it's going to take a little bit differently out there of how it treats the car, what they were able to adjust. I know tire pressure has been adjusted, ride height I'm sure as well. My whole thing is I'm wondering if any of these guys have the ability to run all out and never let off the gas here. But let's go ahead and take a look at our starting grid here for tonight, where Tony Martin is sitting on the pole there in the number 2, Tyler Millette sitting in the 94, the Rogue Energy Machine starting on the outside of row number 1. That moves us up to Jonathan Jennings and Gary Clune. Clune getting a high spot, definitely a top 5 starting position. That's going to go really well for him. Kevin Powell, long-awaited return, the 93 machine, sits 5th. Next to Mike Leftwich. Now, Leftwich is actually doing really, really well in the points running, so we'll see if Mike Leftwich can get a solid finish here tonight. But it'll have Nicholas Atwood and Hunter Simpson in the 4th row behind him, looking to see if they can get past him first and send him to the back of the field. Mike Samia and Daniel Wilkerson will be in row number 5. Wilkerson sitting on the outside for the Big O Foundation in his number 78 Chevrolet. We'll see how he does out there as Samia from Shoneys Racing in the number 3. I know a couple of times we've seen Samia out there not get the best of luck here, but I think a different paint scheme for him tonight. He's going to try something different. Chris Leftwich will be starting in 11th next to Bill Gentry. Gentry's been really looking to be a pusher here tonight. I don't know. He said he didn't feel real comfortable leading, but we'll see how he does as a pusher. Gary Armillo and Kevin Thompson will be starting 13th and 14th. Justin McMahon and John Smith sitting in that 15th and 16th spot. Stella, we are looking at row number 9 here, starting with Adam Gardner, Christopher Simon, Stephen Bonomo, Eric Warman, and Michael Dow, Mark Dumont, sitting 21st and 22nd. We got a full field here. This is the rest of the guys: Jeffrey Weimer, Kevin Brown, Chuck Cobb, Richard Leclerc, and Gary Maddu sitting all the way back there in that 63 machine. He's got a long way to go here, and we'll get this one underway here in just a moment as we are waiting for these guys to get on past where the pace car is pulling on off. Stella, we are getting ready to see Barney go ahead and throw out that rotator cuff. Here we go. Green flag should be waving here, and away we go. Tony Martin getting an excellent start. Looks like Jonathan Jennings will get a quick move up to second here as they sling into turn number 1. Right, still sitting 2 by 2. Stella, we know all about Talladega here and a lot of different racing styles here, but there are a lot of occasions where you'll see these guys go 3 abreast going into these turns.
Well, at Talladega, you can do three wide comfortably as long as you maintain your line. We got a couple out here that are trying to make that 5th and 6th line, it seems.
Yeah, Kevin Thompson definitely squeezing up already. Consider half a lap. Right now, the number 6 Ford has moved up 7 positions here on the night as he comes here to the front stretch. Stella, he is already starting to sling up. Mike Leftwich, remember I said he was doing so well in the points, has actually lost 6, dropping down to 12th. As lap number 1 will be led by Jonathan Jennings. Our pole sitter of Tony Martin slide down to 3rd. So outside line did not seem to prevail. The inside kind of fumbled up a little bit here, and it's going to be a hard time to get this away. But notice how the front 6 drivers, with Jonathan Jennings, Kevin Powell, Tony Martin, Nicholas Atwood, Tyler Millette, and Hunter Simpson, these guys are already starting to get a breakaway of about 1 second over the rest of the field. Stella, we've seen, like I said, we've seen many a times, not only the Big Show, the Racing Revolution League. I mean, what is a way these guys can catch up to that front pack before it gets too late?
Well, the big key here is to make sure you get nose to tail and at least a minimum of 3 cars. The longer the better. And if you got a good pusher up there, that's even nicer.
Yeah, right now we're taking a look at Kevin Thompson and the old Mark Martin's team, sitting in the number 6 Ford with his teammate Gary Clune sitting behind him. Clune has actually been wiggling around the track a little bit here, trying to see if he can keep it collected. A driver lost a bunch of positions already out of the top 10, slinging outside the top 15 is Daniel Wilkerson here. He's losing now 7 positions as the outside line is just not coming together here. He's kind of falling apart. Stephen Bonomo sticks his car out there to see if he can help a teammate out and pull him back to the front. Now, during practice, Daniel Wilkerson was taking some high line runs to see if he could change it up a little bit and get away from any of the door draft the inside line might use. But as the track rubbers up, the outside line may become faster here. It just depends how much these guys can and will use the outside line is the determination of when it will go ahead and pick up and start making more speed for these guys instead of being a dead lane here. We're taking a ride along here with Stephen Bonomo. Bonomo right now sitting in front of Daniel Wilkerson there, trying to make his move. But Stella, remember I was talking about how can these guys get caught up. It looks like right now, I believe, it looks like Thompson is caught all the way back up here to the front pack. So the front 6 that were getting away are no longer. They're going to actually be in the chase now as the outside line getting jammed up a little bit by the number 19 of Nicholas Atwood. Now, Nicholas Atwood out there looks like he's linking up with a few more teammates. I'm sure the number 6 there of Kevin Thompson pretty happy about meeting another Twisted Axle team. And B-Mac out there hanging her head, missing the number 12. I'm sure Andrew St. Coeur will be out here doing a fantastic job, but no can do. And it's going to be settling with Nicholas Atwood, Kevin Thompson, and Gary Clune here for the night. Right now, they are all running kind of in the same area right now, sitting your guys on the outside line, 19, the 6, and the 11. So, Stella, right now, we get these guys bunched back up again. You know, what happens? Do we just kind of tick off the laps here, or do we start trying to make some gains?
At lap 5 out of 66, I'd say tick off some laps, decide whether the guy in front of you needs to be the guy, behind you, but talk to him. Kevin Thompson's the one that's scaring me right now in the 6 car. He's doing a lot of sawing back and forth on number 19 Atwood.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. I do notice what you are saying there. Is if Kevin Thompson is having a little bit of trouble, you saw how he reinserted himself back into the line here. And if that's going to be a problem, Atwood right now, that is a bad spot to push. Yeah, right now this could be the big one here in the front if Kevin Thompson can't square up on him here. The only way you can kind of settle his car down is to drag the left foot on the brake to see if you can slow it down just a hair. But looks like he's going to try to sling on the outside and pass his own teammate here as they fall down to 10th and rolling on back. Look how how that outside lane just absolutely folded.
Disintegrated. It sure did.
Yeah, nothing left of it here, and now guys are starting to kind of scramble to figure out how to get back. Atwood was able to stop the bleeding and went from the lead down to 10th. He was able to snug back in, so questionable moves here, but check out the outside line. This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Away he goes. So now Kevin Thompson starting to make up some speed. Even more here with the 8. Does he decide to take a 3? No, he doesn't.
No.
But the 8 going ahead and snugging back into line. And the 8 actually being out there of Chris Leftwich. Now, I think normally you're used to seeing Chris Leftwich out there in the 13, but not tonight.
Trying a new tactic. Some guys go with a new number. Some guys go with a new paint.
Yeah. Well, I definitely expect to see, these guys switching it up a little bit, trying to figure out if there are any other ideas that they could have out there, between paints, numbers, something else to kind of shake it up. Because right now the Shoneys racing team could definitely use a win here very, very soon. They've been in a little bit of a drought trying to see if they could come back and lay down. I mean, they're nailing some fast times. Right now, Mike Leftwich is out there doing some of his best racing here of the season with his consistency. Right now we're talking about that number 60 out there of Mike Leftwich, who's hanging down there on the bottom line as they come up on the front stretch. And so far so good from him, but everybody else kind of are like a water faucet. We're either really hot or we're really cold, but we can't seem to find that middle ground.
Yeah, need a nice blend there, or you get scalded. Yeah, we've got a little blinking issue down there too, which at this track and at close to these guys are running is scary.
He used to be blinking out even last race were Hunter Simpson, and we'll see if that number 5 out there is having any problems. You notice how Hunter Simpson backs it up a little bit here from Tyler Mollett. Very interesting to see. Hunter Simpson is sitting in that number 5. You see getting around the track here. I don't know if there's going to be a problem out there. If he's going to be able to kind of collect it back up. I'm not sure what in the world's going on with him out there, but it looks like everything's still staying pretty solid here, Stella. Now, Jonathan Jennings is sitting in the front. His brother Kevin Powell, who's, like I said, we are really happy to see return back. Of course, Talladega brings everybody out of the woods, and then they come out here and give it a shot because there's not really I wouldn't say there's a ton of skill involved that is required for this race, but a lot of teamwork and a lot of heads-up driving, which you can see right now. Gary Clune is becoming the anchor here. Look at this. Right now, it's Kevin Thompson was sitting outside the 5th spot. Gary Clune looked like he was getting ready to fold his car up or drive through him there. Kevin Thompson now out front. He's got the lead. Jonathan Jennings is getting definitely a mouthful of fresh air here to try to see if he can do something just a little bit different. But this lap is going to be led by Kevin Thompson as that outside lane is now finally starting to come together.
It is. He just has to hold on to Smith in that 3rd position. If he can snug up to Clune a little bit more, they'd have even more of an advantage.
Yeah, right now it looks like Smith is starting to snug up. I don't know if Clune would be ready for a push, but check out Kevin Powell. Powell now making the push, and this is a good angle from our broadcast booth, as you can kind of see the two lines seesawing back and forth here. One is not capitalizing over top of the other here. But we've already got some trouble here sitting, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, for the 5th position here of Kevin Thompson. Thompson is sitting on the outside, as I believe Hunter Simpson and Tyler Mollett are trying to get around him.
Yeah, they're pretty tight for trying to get around, but I don't know. I always have this thing, lead, follow, or get out of the way.
Yeah, it might be possible. I would like to know if Jonathan Jennings is riding in 4th gear.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he's not a big fan of 5th.
No, not that we've seen in the past.
Now, Stella, let's talk about this a little bit. We've talked about fuel economy a few times. The guys right now in the draft are the ones saving the fuel. Now, Jonathan Jennings may be leading a boatload of laps here. But all that fresh air, more fuel, more power. Right now, Jonathan Jennings actually has less fuel than anybody else in the field, seeing that he's been out front most of this race. How does Jonathan Jennings work with his teammates and determine whether they're going to pit all at the same time, or is he just going to have to wait?
Well, if he doesn't work it out, the last thing he wants to do is come in off cycle and be a loner, because being out here, one is the loneliest number. It's almost impossible to catch up if that's the situation. We've also had a new lead change on the outside line there.
Yeah, that we have. And right now, Mike Samia has poked his nose out there, gets his car out in front. And the number 6, not afraid of pushing. Kevin Thompson's going to see if he can give it another shove. I was definitely taking an eyeball out there and looking at Stephen Bonomo, who dropped down outside the top 10, but he's fighting his way back up, now sitting 9th. And I would say, there's no real place out here on the track where I can guarantee to say, yes or no, whether the inside line or the outside line is better, who's better pushing, who's better leading. And there's no rhyme or reason, I would say here, Stella. But right now, everybody's still clumped together. We're 14 laps into this thing without any cautions. This is looking pretty good here for the Shoneys 175 right here at the beginning.
Well, I'm knocking wood, man, because you got to say that. Somebody out there's listening.
Yeah. I think the only person that's really hanging on right now is whoever the heck is on our internet, kind of definitely bogging us down real bad here. But we're trying to see if we can fight through it and try to get some of these kilobits back. The way we can bring you the best here in iRacing. Got a couple of guys out here who may be suffering the same issue here. Steven Bonomo sitting in 9th in the number 9. He is now moved up to 6th. Still following out there behind Hunter Simpson. Now notice how that outside line is having to kind of pucker up a little bit as the inside line rides up the track just a little bit, hitting about that mid lane and then moving around. Samia might start something here. Definitely not what you want to do is push with the left front fender.
No.
You start pushing with that fender, guys are going to get the wrong angle of the push here, and that's going to be bad. Right now, I'm going to keep my eye on the outside line because something's falling apart here. Chris Leftwich not liking, there it is. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm figuring Thompson's holding that steering wheel with his teeth by this point.
Yeah. That's not looking good as we float over top. Chris Leftwich is the one in front of this line. Mike Samia, his own teammate, sitting behind him. Now, Samia's got to figure out how to square up on him for a push. And I think anybody would have no problem and expect that if you were to actually pull off the rear bumper, give it a second, and then push him again to make sure you hit him square, that would be something much more preferred here. But notice how the 6th there, Kevin Thompson, look how far he's dropped off. He's getting a little nervous as right now the Gary Armijo is kind of bouncing off the yellow line here. Good Lord.
Yeah, this is not one of those that you want to go playing around on the apron too much.
Yeah. Well, not these speeds anyway. Right now, I don't have a person out here that's not doing under 191 miles an hour.
Nice.
Yeah, so right now they were scooting around here. Some of the top speeds, Hunter Simpson hit 213 out here. Gary Clune hit 212. Somebody else, Gary Armijo, hit 212 as well. So these things are flying by. Justin McMahon, we haven't talked about in a long time, who's way off pace, almost 7-8 seconds off pace here as these guys have come separated. Not looking good here as they're having to see if they can fight this one back. I don't know if this is planned or if something else is wrong here. We'll take a little look inside of Justin McMahon's machine. I want to know what gear he's sitting in.
He's running the money gear too.
Yeah, 4th gear as well.
I'm wondering if, like you say, maybe it's planned. Maybe they're saying this way we'll have time to avoid the big one, or they're no. they could be figuring if the guys up in the front they'd be able to spin right through them. That back and forth is enough to make me crazy, though. So we've seen so many times where they've hooked them, and that's all she wrote.
Yeah. Right now Justin McMahon's trying his best to see if he can get these guys back together. Unfortunately, it's seeming to tick off more and more. About a second and a half, since we've been looking at them. We're about 9.65 off pace here from Jonathan Jennings, and it continues to grow. Yeah. Right now, Wilkerson trying to see if he can make up any sort of time. Right now, I'm seeing it showing Weimer and Cobb. These guys have messed up a little bit here in the back. I don't know if there was some trouble there on lap 1 if something happened. I'm not showing any trouble out here on the track between any driver. Right now, seeing Chris Leftwich on the outside here. Looks like he's hanging out in the 6th spot, battling for 5th.
Yeah, I think Cobb had a hard time just getting off the line when the green flag was thrown. I saw him kind of, have a last-minute Lucy back there.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if he sidestepped it or something, or maybe started in the wrong gear. I'm showing Mark Dumont and Chuck Cobb had a problem right there at the beginning. Gary Madu did actually not take behind the wheel here tonight, so he's already out.
Yeah.
So, Yeah, okay, interesting to see, but notice how much movement we've got out here, and Kevin Thompson
Yeah.
really trying to make something happen here. Atwood follows along, trying to see if they can get a little more. Tony Martin, our pole sitter, still remains in third. And Mollett sits in fourth. Right now, a couple of guys starting to wonder if they're able to make it. You take a look from this angle here. Still see we have no second group even in sight here before they show up. Let's see if we can find Daniel Wilkerson. There he is. And now he's coming up.
Wow.
Yeah, they're way off right now, almost 11 seconds.
Yeah, I'll tell you, this is one of those sports where, or even any event, I mean, if you're baking a cake or something like that, 11 seconds isn't really going to make a difference between a good cake and a bad cake. Here, 11 seconds, and you are a mile behind.
Yeah, especially when most of our laps are ending up around about 49-second mark. Some of these guys have broken 48s. Stephen Bonomo with a 48.45. So he's one of the faster guys out here on the track. But Bonomo still remains in 8th. We are taking a look off the back bumper here of our leader on lap 22, 1/3 of the way through this race. Still no pit stops yet. Gary Clune sticking his car out there, seeing if he could trade up or something. But notice how it creates a vacuum on the inside line. That's going to allow them to start turning and burning here. Waiting to see if the 8 machine, there he goes, Chris Leftwich starting to make up a little bit more room. Interesting to see enough that he didn't pick up as much speed as he would have, actually as much as I would have expected to see him do. Seeing he should have snugged up there and actually pulled the rest of the inside line around, but they are not doing that. And Jonathan Jennings, Stella, that kind of really bugs me, I guess, might be the word, as we are getting ready to lap the last 2 drivers here on the field. Right now, that is them running into some, I believe, Chuck Cobb and Weimer here.
Yes.
No, looks like we might be in some trouble here. Let's see if we can take a look back. Here come the leaders now. Staying on the inside line. I love it right now. Not looking to give up any positions here. Let's get over top where they run 3 abreast into the turn number 3. Side by side they go right now, seeing if they can squeeze on through. The 73 of Jeffrey Weimer about to get in some trouble as the 8 machine is wiggling around. Right now he seems to get calmed down a little bit, but Stella, we have seen the draft here yet again has grabbed a hold of guys here in last and have added a couple more to this bunch.
Yeah, actually, I was watching number 9 up there, Bonomo, getting a little bit back and forth across the line. I love these tracks that have the lanes painted out. It really gives you a lot better viewpoint as to the east-west directions that they're moving.
Yeah. Speaking of east-west, Michael Dow slides up to the outside lane, but he's doing a little bit north-south moving as well. Right now, losing 6 positions here. As soon as John Smith passes him, that will be only 5 positions gained here on the night. And right now, that White Castle machine having a little bit of trouble there when the lapped cars actually inserted themselves and joined up, creating a little bit of trouble out there on the track. And he seemed to suffer a good chunk of it here. He's already flying back, and he's trying to figure out how to make up some of that ground, but that is Adam Gardner in the 56 Toyota sitting in front of him there, looking to see if he can kind of toy it around a little bit here to see if he can shoot his way back up to the front. As we sit on top of his car, notice what we got going on here. That should be Kevin Thompson in the, yep, that's him. Man. See, and the thing is, when you end up in a situation like this, you see like a guy like that on the outside, and you want to help him, you bump him. Right now, he should have kind of hammered him there as he pulled up on him and square him away and push him to the front, but that is not the case here, Stella.
Yeah, no, he's more tagging along behind rather than pushing forward.
Yeah, we are still too wide here. No pit stops yet from anybody out there on the field. This is fantastic, and Stella, I've got to admit, taking a look at some of these guys out here, we had some caution-riddled races there for a while, and right now, normally this is a race where you see a lot of trouble happen out there on the track. and it shouldn't, but it does, where these guys are getting tangled up and smashing each other's cars to pieces, but there's no fast repairs here. So notice how everybody's taking it so much more careful out there, kind of minding their P's and Q's. Now everybody gets a little wiggle here and there. Definitely expect to get some tire rubber burns there on the side, or a couple, front air dams bent in, but that's okay. Things like that are going to happen. But here at Talladega, there is plenty of room. Which right now you can see a couple of guys taking that a little more seriously, trying to find a little more wiggle room out there. Now we're taking a look here at Christopher Simon right now in the 27 UPS machine. Right now, what can Brown do for you? Right now, it can go ahead and work his way up there. As Masalis out there is kind of hoping that he'll work his way up to the front. Right now, he's stuck behind the number 8 here of Chris Leftwich. And Mike Leftwich still riding down on the bottom. Doesn't look like he's changed his mind at all during this race and is staying true to the bottom line. Now, Stella, when we get to 5 to go, this is going to be a wild race. I think we'll be 3 wide all the way across.
Yeah, I think there's a good chance of that. These guys know how to drive. So, I mean, the caution or lack thereof is evident of that. You say they're running 212, miles an hour. That's the pole speed record for this track. I mean, normally, I think the fastest race only averaged 188.
Yeah. Yeah, normally fast pace 88. They also count the caution laps where they're unfortunately running them at 70 miles an hour. So
agreed, but they've also had 0 cautions at this track 3 times.
No kidding.
Yeah, so that fast race in 1997 by Mark Martin would have been a cautionless race. Just FYI.
Okay.
That was the first one in 97, May of 97. They've since had one in 2001 and one in 2002.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Huh. Well, these are restrictor. Good Lord, look at that Atwood. What a shove. Yeah, give it to teammates to push you around a turn here. Kevin Powell, look at it. He goes up. Boom. A little bit to Jennings there. Probably give him one more shove before the turn. There it is. And then you'll see how much farther he gets away. Now, Atwood shows up much later and starts giving a shove to the 6. Now, I expect to see, as Atwood kind of figures it out here, as they get around that front stretch, as soon as it straightens out, you want to meet him at the rear bumper. So what you'll see is you'll actually see the second or third guy slack off a little bit, catch up, and then push, which is exactly what Tyler Mollett is doing here. Mollett hanging down toward the inside, creating a gap, which actually causes a vacuum, and is trying to get Kevin Thompson stuck out there on the outside line.
Well, I'm also seeing that they're coming real close to each other side by side, so they're going to be picking up a lot of that door draft too, aren't they?
Yeah, well, that would be the key, is you got to snug down and try to get a hold of him. Because now you see how Tyler Mollett is caught up to the pack. Well, guess who? Kevin Thompson's up there now. And now Kevin Thompson now sits in third. He's looking to get another position. There's second. And Atwood starting to push all over him here. Not looking good. Yeah. And the only reason I say not good is that when you got a pusher and they start seesawing back and forth a little bit across that rear bumper, that is definitely a concoction here, a recipe for disaster, is what you're seeing now. Stella, we are coming up almost on this halfway point here in the Shoneys 175. No cautions, no pits, but right now it's, I figured that was coming. That was Kevin Powell hopping out of line here as it looks like a bad push.
Okay. That was pretty scary looking popping down there, and then I wasn't sure if he was going to come back up and if he tipped his spotter well enough that he wasn't going to come back up into anybody. Yeah,
it looks like a bad push there by Tony Martin. Martin may have gotten him on the wrong angle on the push, which made it look like Kevin Powell got loose. And when he got loose, he went ahead and got off the racing surface. There's plenty of racing surface on the inside of the track as well, so he could definitely try to hold it down there a little bit. Allow some cars to get behind, out there in front of him and try to fight back. what kind of is the bummer now is he lost 10 positions on that move. Kevin Powell was sitting second, now down in 12th. He's going to have a long way to go to fight his way back up there. Jonathan Jennings now drops down to 6th. I would expect to see this probably as a fuel-saving strategy, as Kevin Thompson now has the lead out there with Nicholas Atwood in the front, sitting right behind him.
Okay, what do you think our fuel window is with 70% at this track?
Yeah, 70%. It's going to be hard to say here, Stella. I figured we'd be at least under 1, if not 2 cautions by now, seeing how hungry these guys are fighting to the front. So I had done slight calculations on that. I would expect to see somewhere around that 38 to 45 mark. They'll only need to make one stop and get back out there.
Okay, then we may see some potential green flag stops coming up then.
Yeah, well, I would say that number is also very malleable, seeing who is drafting and who isn't. Like right now, Kevin Thompson was not drafting a lot of this time, and neither was Jonathan Jennings, but most of these other guys who've been hanging out here in the pack, that's going to change up. So here we go, Kevin Thompson working his way down pit.
Oh, lighten them up. Eek. There we go.
All
Nice.
right.
Well, taking a look at out there in the chat, like you say, Kevin Brown's out there rooting everybody on and us. B-Mac is saying look at Twisted Axle, even though they're missing the number 12. Haas Unit 110 is rooting on Tyler Millette. Catalina Salas is rooting on her love, Christopher Simon, number 27. And Andrew St. Cour is obviously online, even though he's not racing tonight, saying, let's go, Kevin. Push that 11 to the front.
Well, right now we got a couple of guys. I know that Andrew St. Cour is kind of hoping that he can push that number 11 to the front right now. Gary Clune did join him down pit road. Only one other driver came down pit road by himself, which is Chris Leftwich. Not where you want to be. Some of these other guys, 15-second pit stop times, and they're slinging back out. This was actually the backpack here, so these guys will all be a lap down now. And they're going to have to try to make up some ground now. Stella, we've been to Talladega. I'll say it multiple times how critical you think tires are here to take or even put a set on.
Well, with a green flag pit stop, I'm not sure, but looking at the fact that they're doing 15-second pit stops, that sounds like 4 tires and gas to me.
Yeah, that it is. And I would wonder if anybody would consider just fuel might be a joke. Kevin Powell about to speed into pit road here. Big slide back here by Stephen Bonomo. We'll see if Stephen Bonomo ended up with any kind of a speeding penalty. Kevin Powell looked like he came in way too hot there. We'll see if how long he spends in the box. Jonathan Jennings, he may have squeaked underneath. We'll see. So everybody getting into their respective pit positions here. All right, let's get to some of our leaders, where Mike Samia has taken over. Christopher Simon sits second. And I believe that's John Smith there in the back. Yeah, the number 99 Chevrolet. So Christopher Simon splitting the Chevrolets here in the top 3, trying to figure out if they're going to come in to pit all at once.
They are.
Well, it's always good to pit in bunches. Last thing you want to do is pit by yourself, which we saw Christopher Leftwich doing. I highly, highly don't recommend that, because that can end up in nothing but trouble. Time down pit road. Tony Martin, 40 seconds in the box. Kevin Powell, 48 seconds in the box.
Sounds a whole lot like a speeding penalty to me.
Yeah. Yeah, we sped pretty bad heading down pit road, so it looks like Kevin Powell's going to be down and out from the rest of his normal pack that he has been running with, and so is Tony Martin.
Well, I guess all they can do now is team up together and see if they can catch up.
Boy, but that's going to be so hard to catch up. It's a lot easier for 12 guys to pull away than 2 guys trying to make up any kind of positions here.
Agreed.
So far, everybody, from what I'm seeing here on the ticker, has pit. Christopher Simon is sitting in the lead here. John Smith, looks like Hunter Simpson, there he is. So Hunter Simpson will be assuming the lead here because of the amount of speed he is at. Right now sitting at 190 miles an hour, pulling up on some guys about 30 miles an hour less, but I got to give it to him. That's a good pit stop here. by Christopher Simon with a 13.63 out there on the track. Hunter Simpson had a 12.35. Jonathan Jennings had a 13.4. So,
Okay. Yeah.
Stella, I would say not everybody's taking 4. I would expect to see a set of right sides and fuel to make it to the end. They did make it past the halfway point before they had to pit.
They did. It would be very interesting to see this as a one-stop race tonight.
Well, if it were one-stop race and cautionless, that would be fantastic. Well, I think it would probably bother me as even as the sponsor out there. As the guys getting so spread out, there's no chance of returning. You know, right now we are seeing between the lead and 8th place is already 2 seconds apart.
Ouch.
Yeah, we reach another 2 seconds beyond that, and then we can find right now Tyler Mollett and Chris Leftwich. I mean, this is pretty bad when they're reaching way out there to see if they can find him. But then, I mean, heck, off Chris Leftwich, we go back to Gary Armijo. That was another 7 seconds. Now it's 8. Where Armijo's trying to come up with something here. He's got nobody around him, so he's all by himself here. And can he come back and try to get him again? I don't know. It's looking pretty rough.
Yeah, and this would also, you know, I guess what you were describing earlier with Jonathan Jennings being up front, using more air, gives more fuel. With these guys being alone, that again does the more air, more fuel, and doesn't even help the drafters behind them.
Yeah. We'll see if that continues to be any sort of a problem out here. I'm interested to see that the number 11 of Gary Clune has taken the lead.
Sure enough.
Look at this. Not bad. And I'll tell you what, if there's a place I think Gary Clune would like to win and be here, I mean, heck, he'd like to get a win just at all right now. He's been out there working with the Twisted Axle Racing team, trying to get up front. Actually, Gary Clune here, Stella, before you joined along here with Simtrax Broadcasting. Gary Clune was actually back in the back 20 most of these races. Joined the Twisted Axle Racing team. We haven't seen him really place below 15, and he's gaining into the top 10s. Right now, he's leading one of the races closer to the end of the year here. Right now, this is huge for him. But, well, we're going to have to see what he does running up on some lap traffic here. You definitely want to use some of the draft from one of those lap traffic guys, slide to the side and then sling past him here, but that might not be possible, as right now Hunter Simpson is passing them on the outside. Hunter Simpson and Jonathan Jennings now sitting 1 and 2. Clune is now dropped down to 3rd. Nicholas Atwood may be our guy here who would put him to 4th, but Atwood's going to continue pushing one of his Twisted Axle Racing buddies here and see if he can fight his way back to the front. Interesting move, because you see that exact timing here. That has just caught Clune up behind Kevin Powell, and Powell's holding him here.
Oh, totally. I mean, I don't know if it's intentionally holding him, but it's definitely effectively holding him. Yeah, the last time I see Clune on the podium was when we were in Atlanta. So, yeah, it's not a heck of a long time. Yeah, he came in 3rd back then.
How long ago?
September.
Yeah, I just mean farther back than that. Back when I first got with the Doghouse Racing League.
Oh, no, I'm just saying, like, he's coming up. Versus, he's working his way up, and here he is, right up in the top 5 again.
Yeah, his consistent placements are really kind of kicking it off and doing really, really well here to give him the opportunity to kind of shoot up toward the front. But Hunter Simpson, Jonathan Jennings, Christopher Simon sitting 1, 2, and 3. Gary Clune sits in 4th. And Adam Gardner is 5th with 25 laps left to go here. Looks like the 14 machine of Mark Dumont is going to go down a lap here and keep on going back, unfortunately. Right now, I believe that does put Tony Martin in the lucky dog spot. And the number 2 Ford we see sitting out there. Right now, I know we would like to see a caution so he can get himself back to the front. But actually, Stella, I think Kevin Brown actually might be beating him to that right now, the 33 Chevrolet who's out there.
And Powell.
Oh, caution.
Sugar. Sure did. Yeek.
Kevin Powell spins it off.
Boy. So much for who a minute we mentioned him. Oh man, got a bit of damage there.
Yeah, definitely some right front fender bent up from him. All right, let's see if we can see what happened to him here. Get something better than that. Here we go. Oh, Clune.
Yeah. Oh. And I think Clune saved it, but oh boy, did they collect 14.
Yeah.
He had no idea what was coming.
Wow. That was a pretty nasty hit, too.
Surely.
Let's see if we can see what Mark Dumont sees here. Yeah, you see the tail link's broke. There's nothing. It's not even steering.
I wondered when I saw him hugging the wall there that he would not be doing that intent. No, yeah, look. He is all the way to the right and it's still pulling. That would be the end of his night, I believe. I mean, he can get it repaired and come back out, but ouch. Yeah, he won't be on the podium tonight.
Well, Stella, we did not go caution-free on this race. Right now, it looks like Kevin Powell will end up looking probably head down pit road and see if he can get that thing fixed up. Unfortunately, that does kind of hinder Kevin Powell here at the end of the night.
It does, but I would venture to say this is more of an optional repair than a meatball flag.
For Kevin Powell.
Yes.
Possibly. It doesn't look like any pieces are going to fly off, but with as aerodynamic as your car needs to be at this track.
Oh, yeah.
He wouldn't much rather take about it takes him about a minute and a half to get around this track. So he'll have plenty of time to see if he can try to square away and beat some of these dents out and get that car squared back away, which is really a bummer.
Oh yeah, it any time you touch a wall or another car in this particular place, it's a bummer. But while we're on caution, do you think we should shout out some of our sponsors?
Yeah, here in just a second. I do want to take a look back here at Kevin Powell, right when this caution happens. Yeah, I'm not sure if Gary Clune got off the apron here. It definitely hooked Kevin Powell.
Eek. Ouch.
Wow. Yep, because we were getting ready just to head to commercial break here. In just a moment, we'll come back and we'll show everybody the points, and then we'll be right back for the remainder of this race. The Doghouse Cup Series is proud to be sponsored by Shoneys. Shoneys is today's all-American kitchen. Open daily for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, Shoneys guests can count on quality, delicious food along with their warm, friendly service. Stop by one of our West Virginia locations to try their freshly prepared legendary breakfast bar, and don't forget to take home a whole strawberry pie. Shoneys, delicious food and friendly service since 1947. Alrighty, and don't forget about Rogue Energy. It's designed to be the ultimate energy drink. 0 sugar, 0 fillers, 5 calories packed with essential vitamins and loaded with brain-enhancing nootropics. Make the switch to a better tasting, better mixing, and more effective energy drink. There's something out there for everyone. Notice how you guys see out there, Doghouse Racing League. Use that Doghouse to get 10% off your first order. Alrighty, righty, pace car lights are off. Drivers double stacking here. Appreciate you guys hanging in there as we get a quick little shout out from our sponsors out there, Rogue Energy and the Shoneys racing team out here, especially the highest one out there right now, who is I believe Mike Leftwich, who's sitting now in 10th, and Christopher Simon, who's hanging out in 4th. Those are our drivers there in the top 10. Stella, talk to me a little bit about Rogue Energy here. I'm sure they've got more flavors than just grape popsicle out there and fruit punch.
They do. They've got some sour watermelon. They've got some sour candy, black cherry. They you got to check back too if your favorite is not in stock, because they do sell out. You got to be on top of it. Try one of the other flavors, or consider trying, to check back and see which one suits your fancy. They've got some pretty cool deals as far as starter kits with 6-packs and tubs, cans, whatever. If you don't like mixing your own, they're all available.
Yeah, did you say on your first order you get more than 10% off?
I did actually. It's, I think, a 25% off when you sign up for emails and texts.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what do you say we get this race back under green?
I
Jonathan
say yes.
Jennings and Hunter Simpson sit here in the front row, waiting to hit that Geico restart zone. And away they go. Green flag is out. Hunter Simpson and Jonathan Jennings to the line. Look at the amount of separation that Hunter Simpson has over the rest of the field here. Looks like Jonathan Jennings is going to snug down into the second position. Christopher Simon is third, and Adam Gardner hangs out in fourth. Right now, that is 2 Toyotas side by side. They're chasing down the 2 Chevys in front of him. Yeah, Stella, I like making jokes a bunch. We got 2 Chevys, 2 Toyotas, and 2 Fords out here.
No kidding. 2, 4, 6. I like it.
Yeah, so they're clumping together, but they are battling amongst themselves out here as we get back underway. Looking to see how Clune's going to do it here. Would definitely say we'll keep an eye out there and see if Clune has anything going on. If you were the cause of a caution, they will definitely send you to the back of the line here. But I don't know if you would say that you caused it, and Clune is hanging out here in fourth, so they'll definitely be reviewing this. With only, looks like 19 laps left to go here. Adam Gardner out in front. 16 positions gained here on the night, and right now that's the best position for him. It's getting into the front, getting out in the fresh air where no one else is, just him, and he's going to enjoy a little bit of lead time here. But as we take a look off the side, Gary Clune's starting to do that sawing back and forth again. I definitely hope he's not touching. That could be definitely some problems here. Let's get down the gearbox.
He's touching.
Yeah, he's getting super close here. Right now, Gary Clune trying to do the best he can to not nudge him during the turns. But that is sometimes that can't be avoided. But I got to say, Stella, outside line, 1, 2, 3, and 4 is working.
Yeah, there's something I remember hearing on one of the other leagues and on these super speedways. Some of the cars are better at pushing because of the shape of their front end. Is that true?
Some of them are, depending on how shovel-nosed they are. I know the Chevys have some trouble. The Fords are a little better because they're round. But check out Kevin Thompson here. I did want to take a note that you did see Atwood slide down in front of Hunter Simpson here, now blocking it off. Atwood, yep, it's going to be some trouble here.
No. He's got,
nope,
no,
50 sideways.
Oh, shoot. Oh, I thought he had it, but he came back up into the crowd.
Yeah, I can't blame Michael Dow for this one. Yeah, Dow got squeezed. And when he got squeezed, it kind of pushed him out. When it pushed him out, he ended up sideways, and there was nowhere to go.
All right, well, that's 2. Still forgivable, as B-Mac would say out there. Wow. We got Country Chick saying, let's go 94, and B-Mac's rooting on number 6. I'll tell you, 6 is all over the place tonight. I mean, forward, backward, up, down. It's just definitely in the limelight.
Yeah, let me see if we can get a little closer here and figure out what happens. Because I think this one was forced a little more than expected here. The 50 machine slides down. Now notice how Nicholas Atwood lets off the gas. gets his mind changed a little bit by Hunter Simpson. Simpson pushes again, pushing Atwood into the 50.
Oh, I couldn't see the back end. I didn't realize Hunter pushed him first.
Yeah.
I
So
sound like a playground teacher. You pushed
Atwood
me
trying to
first.
be off. Michael Dow trying to hold on to it here, and you know this is trouble right here.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah.
When he goes back up, that's the end of that suit.
Yeah, Jonathan Jennings gets collected. The number 4 machine of Bill Gentry gets collected.
Oh,
Dow goes up. Looks like he collects Mollett.
Again.
Mollett gets crushed. Mike Leftwich looks like he's missing the front clip off of his machine.
but the kicker there. Nope. I keep watching to see when brakes are applied at this point. You know, 'cause trying to steer into it and keep going. But man, and then these guys are like, I'm way down here. Don't come hit me. Oh. Wow. I love the fact, though, that some of them will do a full 360, flip the wall, and carry on. Can we pull back? Yeah, I was going to say, can you pull back just a little bit? I'd like to see Hunter Simpson hit the 19 first before he clipped 50. So down. Aha.
There's 1 touch. There's 2 touch.
2 touch, and that bumps. Yep.
There's 3.
Gotcha.
To push the 19 past.
Okay. Yeah. Man, that doesn't take much. This is a game of inches at 200 miles an hour.
Yeah. Well, drivers still down pit road. Tyler Mollett, Jonathan Jennings, Mike Leftwich, Eric Warman, and Michael Dow. These guys are hanging down pit. Warman is actually working his way back out here in the Mountain Dew machine.
Some of our usual front runners got picked up in that one.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if Jonathan Jennings is able to return here. He's got a minute and a half of damage he's already been fixing in the box.
Ouch. Well, at this point, I think if he gets out in front of the other guys in pit, he would be eligible for the lucky dog. But which I think he might.
Yeah, I think actually Jonathan Jennings was able to squeak out without having to go a lap down.
No way.
Yep.
He is a lucky dog.
Yeah, just not the lucky dog.
Correct. Yeah, that honor would be to Tyler Mollett. So.
Yeah, right now still sitting in his pit box.
Ouch. Yeah, he took a nice clip.
Yeah, that's a bummer there. I figured that was something might happen. We got 1 caution out of the way, and now hopefully we don't continue collecting cautions. Right now, the highest team out there with the most drivers here in the top 5 would still be the Twisted Axle Racing Team. Gary Clune, Kevin Thompson, Nicholas Atwood. We're looking to see if Daniel Wilkerson can make up any more ground, but we are still being led by a Toyota of Adam Gardner out there, who is out front. Would like to thank all of our sponsors out there, Shoneys and Rogue Energy, for signing on with the Doghouse Racing League. If you were looking to sign up for any kind of sponsorship for your for this league or any, you could even sponsor the races. You can sponsor a white flag for every race out here, and it definitely would help go as proceeds to the Doghouse Racing League. And then that way it'll help assist this league with broadcasting fees, things like that. Definitely some prize giveaways, and be a chance to shout out your company out there to try to get you a little more contact with your customers out there. Stella, we are looking at Adam Gardner and Gary Clune starting in the front row. Kevin Thompson and Mike Samia will be starting side by side. And Daniel Wilkerson and Nicholas Atwood. Now, not too bad here by Daniel Wilkerson. He's actually been keeping his consistency up. He kind of had a slow race, I think a couple races ago, but he's actually boomeranged back and putting that Big O Foundation Chevrolet up in the podium positions again, and very, very close, especially for top fives. But we're heading back under green. We'll be 14 laps left to go here. That should be a good run. Just a little over 30 miles to complete this one, and away we go to get the Shoneys 175 back underway.
Yeah, is this another one of those tracks that have like a couple wicked bumps? Because I just saw the fellas coming around just before they made it to the start-finish line. They were really hopping around.
Well, there is a line of possibility that it could cause some sort of bouncing there in the back. But
okay.
You definitely have to aim for it. It's not noticeable. You're used to seeing all the club. And Gary Clune is around, and Clune is going to be wrecked out of this one. Right now, good job by everybody avoiding him for the most part.
Yeah, he took off a bumper. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if that was Kevin
Gentry.
Powell. Was it Gentry?
Yeah, took off Gentry's bumper. But you can run without a rear bumper, just nobody's allowed to push anymore.
Yeah.
My. Yeah, we're going to have to see what caused that one.
Yeah, we're not going to call this payback, but something felt weird about this one. Here comes Samia right behind him.
Oh, no. It
Oh, Samia just never let off.
drove right through him. No kidding.
Actually, Clune didn't end up with a whole lot of damage here. I mean, he is going to come down pit. I give it to him for that. I would definitely come down pit. All right, so watch the number 11 down here at the bottom. Yeah, Samia hooks him here. Yeah, that was just a glancing move.
Yeah.
I mean, so he's got a couple dented sides, but shouldn't have any broken suspension. That thing's probably square, and he's ready. He'll try to get back out there.
I guess the key is if you're going to wreck against the wall, make sure to hit all four sides.
All right. Right now, Gary Clune is hanging down pit road now. There's a couple mashed up areas. You see the right front fender.
Yeah.
That's going to cost him a good bit of speed while he's out there.
It just fixed it. Actually, that was kind of neat.
Yeah.
It went pop. And
All right.
off he goes.
Yep. He's going to get back out there. Adam Gardner actually coming down pit road. Gardner was in the lead there for a little bit. Interesting to see him return. Back down pit road. I'm wondering if he's having to make an adjustment or something's up. Adam Gardner, Chris Leftwich, Eric Warman working his way back down pit road again.
Oh. I was so happy he was back on the lead lap. This will hurt. Oh. Interesting.
Yep, so we'll see if we get back out there. Nicholas Atwood still holding on to the lead. Now has the lead. Hunter Simpson will be sitting second. Daniel Wilkerson third. Christopher Simon is fourth. For any of you guys out there looking for Jonathan Jennings, he'll be down in the 14th position. We'll see how he does. Right now, down pit road for an extended amount of time. Chris Leftwich, he's down here for now 50 seconds. Adam Gardner down here for almost a minute.
Yeah, my screen is showing a bunch of people have taken it to the garage, but I do believe that has to be an error.
I don't believe so. I mean, I think that might be correct. We're talking about Stephen Bonomo, Kevin Thompson, Mike Samia, and all and that. But we'll keep an eye out there. I don't know if that's if that is correct. But hopefully, also kind of square ourselves away here. Right now, we are looking at 1, 2, and 3. Atwood, Hunter Simpson, Daniel Wilkerson. These guys clumping back together, trying to get back out here. Gardner trying to hurry up and get caught back up. Yeah,
Very
that
cool.
was a couple big wrecks there. That caused a lot of trouble out here on the track.
Yeah, but I usually do not see those fellas bowing out, so to speak. Um,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go uh, talk to whoever's in the medical center. What do you
Okay.
think?
Yeah, all right. Sounds good. Yeah, looking to see Stella heading down there in the med center to find out if Justin McMahon is A-OK. I don't know if he's dealing with some trouble out there, and it has caused some issues out there for him, or if he wanted to give us a couple of opportunities here of what exactly he's seen out there is definitely causing a little bit of trouble out there on the track. We are getting double wide here as we're getting ready to get back underway. Nicholas Atwood and Hunter Simpson will be starting side by side here on the track. Waiting to see if this is going to kind of turn over and to become something more than what it is. We are on lap number 55. I believe only the top 10 drivers are still on the lead lap of this race here for the Shoneys 175. Kind of questionable here, I would say, by some of these guys out here racing. Whether they want this one to kind of end, I would like to see it kind of sling toward the end, but in a matter of a few laps, we've had a bunch of cautions here. It's kind of clumping up to be something else. Right now, our first yellow flag was around that lap 42 area. And then we had another one about 9 minutes later, which was another bummer. And then lap 53, we got guys crashing again. So, yeah, I don't know if what's going to go on, what's going to make it happen. Nicholas Atwood getting restarted here. As the pace car, 4 tires are off the line here. Way down pit road it goes. Taking a look at Nicholas Atwood, he should be getting us to our restart.
All right,
Everything
and
is on go here for Nicholas Atwood to get back under green. Stella, appreciate you joining us here as we reach back into the Geico restart zone. Fast start there for Nicholas Atwood, who actually took off, but he didn't look like he sandbagged it at all. But Hunter Simpson cannot pass the start-finish line before him, so actually Hunter Simpson has to let off the gas a little bit to let him get on away. Jonathan Smith saying there was a big server issue. You are not the only one. I do see a lot of people crashing here, and I am having a heck of a time keeping our stuff buffering going through this side. So iRacing looking to add a few extra tire models out there, track conditions, and rain, and now it's taking a toll on what is already working. Stella, talk to me a little bit here.
yeah, I was checking in with Justin McMahon. He was telling us that they had a large crowd of some sort at the server, not on the track. Knocked several of these guys out to where you could still see the cars, but they couldn't see anything. At Wilkerson will probably be a perfect person if he does finish in third to question, because there is a good chance this race will be declared unofficial.
Yeah. Well, definitely giving guys an opportunity out there, and then kind of crushing a lot of guys' hopes and dreams. You see somebody blinking up here in the front.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know if Bill Gentry was able to return, and he was. Let's take a look back as the rest of the field is getting ready to run him down. With less than 10 laps to go, they're going 3 wide there in the back.
Oh, now it is listing Thompson and Jennings as being back out here a lap down. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know, but right now it's showing like Bonomo. Bonomo is another driver that kind of ended up getting wasted. It's showing he's out here. So I don't know. Yeah, right now there it shows him blinking out, and he's gone again.
Yeah.
There he is. Yeah, it's having a serious problem. So iRacing doing its best out here to try to stay alive. Check out the number 33 here of Kevin Brown, full send right up the center. Let me see if we can get a hold of a chopper view to follow along.
Oh, no. But
Yeah.
we are back under caution.
Wow.
Do we And he was having a heck of a good run there. I liked it. So do we have a usual suspect or somebody
I
just
believe it's
calling it?
showing Hunter Simpson ended up in some trouble out here.
Oh, no, because he
Yeah.
was right up front. Oh, well, yeah. That's a
Oh,
bit of trouble.
boom.
Oh. Yep. Toe. Oh, man. Wow.
Oh, dude.
He just
So remember,
ran.
Bill Gentry was our guy a lap down. 19 thought he was going to stay low and committed. Atwood went to go up. Gentry went up, and Atwood, I mean, just absolutely creamed him.
We got airborne.
Yeah.
My goodness. These guys always put on a good show, but this is not what I was talking about. There's no flying Walendas out here tonight.
I'm not quite sure why this is happening for these guys. Show me the Hunter Simpson one. Let's go. Yeah, just committed too late. It's got to be over the radio.
Yeah, without a doubt. My heavens. But he seems no worse for the wear.
Yeah, but just except rear-ending him there, and the rear-ending him did cause some front-end damage.
Ah. Okay, well, I see some people like Gary Clune and Atwood are both in the pits now, too.
Yep. Yeah, Clune is sitting in the pit. He may be trying to fix some more of that damage out there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Still, we got 6 laps left to go, and we have not been able to let go. We made it, I believe, almost 38 laps without a caution. And
that's what I show.
Yeah, now we're making it about 4 laps, and we're back under caution again.
Yeah. We're almost there. Let's not get into a green-white checker situation.
Yeah. Definitely be touchy. I would say that some of these guys who are laps down are going to get an opportunity to return. Jonathan Jennings, I believe, needs one more to get back on the lead lap.
Ah, okay. Phew. There we go. Thompson is running around.
Yeah.
To make it. Atwood is taken off, running to catch back up with the pace car. Yeah, I do appreciate a lot of these fellas, you know, some leagues that they hit a caution and they've got 2 minutes of fixing and they say, "Oh, I'm not going to win. Night." And they bow out. These guys are racers. They're here for racing and the competition. And I love it. I mean, they can be, you know, a lap down, 3 laps down, 5 laps down. They're still out here pushing the envelope, running hard. And that's nice to see.
Yeah. And this thing trying to get squared away. Now notice how we're still under caution here. Adam Gardner is in the front. We're trying to see what's going on. To see if they're trying to square this up a little bit or try to fix some of these problems out here on the track. If they can. Right now, pace car lights do turn off. This should be our last time by. Looks like Christopher Simon wants that 3rd position on the inside. Daniel Wilkerson working his way to the outside. I'm sure he's dealing with a lot of buttons there off to the side. Try to get this thing squared away. He's got a lot of problems out there on the track, and he's definitely trying to fix as many as possible. Kevin Brown is sitting down pit. He's trying to fix one of his. Getting some tires on now. Kevin Brown, 4 minutes in the box. So 33 Chevrolet throwing some tires on here. Man, what a bummer here for a lot of these drivers, just not being able to return.
Yeah, it's rough when you do all the work, you do all your settings, put in your time on the track for practice, and then something totally beyond your control kind of wipes out the situation.
Yeah. Yeah, right now I'm looking to see if any of the other guys had a server crash as well. Right now I'm showing Hunter Simpson is down and out here on this race.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm not even showing him up top. So I think he's going to bed. Stella will have 4 laps left to go. I'm hoping this one will run green to the end. Seeing that they had a server wipe out a whole bunch of drivers. This one may, like they said, be kind of wiped from the slate. Only the top 10 drivers are the ones on the lead lap.
Yeah, they're talking about doing, if this is declared unofficial, of re-racing this at a later date. So, but speaking of later date, we've got Auto Club Speedway for this league coming up on the 7th of December. Same bat time, same bat channel, 100 laps, 200 miles there.
Oh, wow. Well, I'm definitely excited to see how that works out, definitely with a track that just closed. Check out the guy who scored on the pole tonight, returning back to that position. Tony Martin finally getting up there in the number 2 Miller Lite, looks like, Miller Lite Ford out there. But the outside lane starting to command and conquer once again. Here we go, 3 wide, 17 machine. Rich Leclerc making a bad decision, but at least he follows it up with a good one. Decides not to go ahead and send it into the turn off the track. We already see how that works out. Jonathan Jennings trying to see if he can work the very middle line, but it's running out of steam here as the number 50 of Michael Dow isn't pushing as hard behind him. I would say it probably doesn't matter unless this having to go. Right now, Chuck Fletcher can tell obviously something's wrong out here, and that you were correct, sir. We are doing our best. Hoping it wasn't that noticeable. Daniel Wilkerson breaking into the lead here out front, but the outside line of Gary Clune.
Man.
Here it comes. Right now, Kevin Thompson's got it to the floor here with 3 laps left to go.
And
Stella,
look at Martin on full send on the inside.
Stella, I'm sure you're happy about this to see how this goes. Right now, Kevin Thompson's going to see if he can push Clune to a win here. Right now, it's going to look very, very close as they sling out a 4 with 2 laps left to go at the line. Worst spot to be is in the number 1 spot, especially at the end. But the Twisted Axle Racing team is sitting 1, 2, and 3 of the drivers that showed up here tonight. 2 laps left to go. Away we go. Stilling slinging away. And now look at the amount of distance they're putting on. Gary Armijo pinballing around here in the back and is now starting to lose pace as everybody else is clumping up. Clune, Thompson, Atwood, 1, 2, and 3. And the rest of the field is going to have to play catch-up.
Wow,
remember,
look,
Jonathan,
it's a middle lane that's going now. Look at him.
Yeah, Jonathan Jennings wishing he was on the lead lap here. If he could get slung around, he'd have an opportunity. Right now, Jennings giving a good push here. Kevin Thompson takes the lead over from Clune. Drops down to the bottom. Coming up, this is the white flag this time by. Look who's on the inside line right behind him. The 91 of Jonathan Jennings rejoins the front pack here. Unfortunately, like I said, still a lap down. It's not going to matter. Let's see how this goes as we head into turn number 1. Still 3 wide here in the back. Looks like Armijo, Atwood still going at it. They are slowing it down a little bit. Trouble with Daniel Wilkerson sitting down toward the bottom. The number 4 trying to work his way through. Bill Gentry. Gentry's been in a lot of trouble this race, but so far looks like Thompson is going to have a 0.3 of a second lead over his teammate Clune. Clune is trying to work on it here, seeing if he can get caught up. Left behind. Atwood's going to sling up to second. Now up to third. Trying to see if he can get around Mike Leftwich here. He's trying. Here it comes. No, decides not to. Kevin Thompson hanging out here in the lead. And it looks like Kevin Thompson's going to be the winner here at Talladega. Man.
What?
Atwood.
Yeah.
Atwood got him.
hit. I think it was the fact that Jonathan pulled out behind him at the last second and took his air away.
Now, this is the last lap again. We're going to take another look at this.
Yeah, do it again.
Thompson's a lap down. Boom. Excellent job here. Yeah, Nicholas Atwood squeaks this one out.
He sure does.
Yep. Wow. Yeah, no kidding. That was a great race here so far. No kidding. So Nicholas Atwood, our race winner here of tonight. Not bad.
Yeah. Got a little rough and tumbled in there, but stuck it out.
Wow.
And Gardner coming in third. And Wilkerson was way up front there, and he ended up in 8th. Well, give you a little second to breathe. I'm going to read off the top 10 if you'd like.
Yeah, that'd be fine. I figured we've also got got some trouble out here in what they've determined to do with the server problem. I think they finally reached a decision
Okay.
as well. Go ahead and give me the top 10 there, Stella.
Sure. We have Nicholas Atwood coming in first place in number 19 car. Number 6 car, Kevin Thompson. Talk about up, down, and all around. He comes in second. Adam Gardner in the 56 car comes in bronze medal place, third. Christopher Simon in the 27 car is fourth. Tony Martin in number 2 car, fifth. Eric Warman came out of the pits just in time. And 1 car to bring in 6th place. Gary Armijo in 7th place, and the 7th car proper and good to do. Daniel Wilkerson in 8th place in his 78 car. In the 11 car, causing all kinds of havoc. Gary Kloon in 9th place, and Richard Leclerc came in 10th.
Yeah, not too bad. Stella, we are looking at, after the second caution, the iRacing server was dropped, dropping connection for half the field. It finally kicked everyone off for having issues. This was an iRacing server problem due to how many people dropped the race at the same time. This race will not be counted and moved to December 21st to replace the Snowball Derby. The Snowball Derby will be moved to a later date, so stay tuned. Sorry for the inconvenience. So, these are soft finish spots here, but we'll definitely keep an eye out there. This is definitely a interesting race. I'm sure Atwood wished that hadn't happened, as that way his race win would come in clutch here tonight. So the Shoneys 175 will return and go for it again. Now, Stella, this is a interesting race here for not only us, but all the drivers as well, as they look to try to see if they can make up some time and come up with a bunch of different things here. Appreciate everybody else out there joining us. Now, Stella, I know this is kind of a bummer for some of our guys out here, seeing how this kind of ended right here at the end.
Yeah, but it does happen, and that's the not the name of the game, but that's how the cookie crumbles.
Yeah, well, definitely kind of crumbled here for us. Especially on iRacing. I know I'm having some frame droppage problems, which is extremely unusual, up to almost 60.5%. Something's going on with this server, so I do appreciate everybody out here watching this race. Nicholas Atwood, Kevin Thompson, Adam Gardner did a great job here tonight. Looking at Tony Martin, how he was able to recover and kick back into overdrive. Eric Warman, Daniel Wilkerson, Jonathan Jennings. I mean, all these guys did a great job here tonight. Unfortunately, this is going to have to be redone as they go back to the drawing board But from all of us here at Simtrax Broadcasting, we are going to see, I believe you'll probably see us with the Doghouse Racing League next race at Auto Club. Keep a eye out there for the link that will get set up for you well before the race. That way you guys have a bookmark and you'll be able to tune in right off the bat. But until next time, be well, be safe, be kind. I'll catch all you guys next time.